Now, time for Dhamma teaching, 2:30 to 3:30. Today is the third day. It's the hump day. I will repeat it again. And some of you may be prepared to leave today, because that is the highest and you cannot go anymore. I heard that someone have some problem with the cats, right? So the cats, there's only few things to test you, that you can overcome, you can solve, you can get over that kind of problem or not. Life and problem that come together all the time. So today I'll give you the equation of problem. Do you know about equation? Equation. Yeah. Who don't understand the word equation? Equation, this means it's balance from left and right. See that? If A equals B, this means A and B equal. If A equals B equals C, and then A and C, that's equal. See that? That equation. Do you understand? So, the equation of problem, I will put P. You know P? P letter, P. Equal. Equal, that means equal. C. C letter. In the bracket, E minus A. Can you get it? P equal C in the bracket. E minus A. When P is problem, P is problem, C is concern. Concern. Do you know the meaning of concern? C is concern. C-O-N-C-E-R-N. Concern. E is expectation. Expectation. E-X-P-E-C-T-A-T-I-O-N. Expectation. You know? That's E. You expect the thing that will happen. A. What is A? What is A for? Action. Actual. Not action. Actual. A-C-T-U-A-L. Actual. Or actuality. Or the real one. The real situation. So, how to make the problem zero? No problem. How you can make it? From this equation. Pardon? Okay. If E equal A, what happened? E and A equal? Zero. So 0 multiplied with any number, what happened? 0. See that? So if E and A equal, no problem. See that? Again, you don't worry about E and A. If C is 0, what happens? No problem again. So, what is C then? Concern. What is concern? That's your ego. If no ego, no problem. You see that? So ego creates all problem. Without egos, no problem. It's clear? To see. Again, the component of the problem. It has 4 components. One. You see, that is the problem. You see by yourself. You see, that's the problem. And after this, I will show you the example. Number 1, you see, that's the problem. Number 2, the problem, concern with you. Concern come again. 3, you want to solve the problem. You want to solve the problem. Okay? And 4, if that's the problem, that problem can be solved. If you cannot solve the problem, that means not the real problem. If the real problem, that means you can solve. I show the example. Cigarettes. Okay. Who still smoking now? Before this, now here you still smoking here? You stop. Before this you smoking. Smoking and drinking. Okay. Who drink? Drink beer, alcohol, or anything? Okay. Okay. So, how about cigarettes? That's concerned with you or not if you smoke? Concerned with you. If you smoke. If you don't smoke, that's concerned with you. Okay? It's clear now? If you smoke, cigarette is concerned with you. And do you see smoking cigarette is problem? You see it? Okay. So 2. 1, cigarettes concerned with you. 2, you see cigarettes is problem. And 3, do you want to solve the problem? If you want to solve the problem, and then that's the real problem. You see? That's the real problem. If you want to solve, you can solve the problem. And when you can solve that problem? When you can solve that problem?
No.
They come to the practice now. When?
No.
Here and now. So you keep here and now. You tell yourself from here and now until I pass away from the world, I will not touch cigarette anymore. I will not touch alcohol anymore. You keep your words. Control yourself. So, the problem can solve. Problem, you have to find the solution. If you have question, you have to find the answer. See that? So, you know how to quit smoking? How? Stop smoking. You just open your mouth and cigarette will fall down from your mouth immediately. Simple, right? Simple? Very simple. So you open your mouth, fall down. Finish. Okay? So, all of you who are here used to smoke before came here. From now until you are passed away from the world, you will not go back to smoke again. That you got the benefit from this retreat also. Because you want to change your life. And again, I will tell you, when you stop smoking, you will have suffering. Because you have your habits, you want to have the smoke, to smoke. So suffering, it has two kinds of suffering. Two kinds of suffering. Number one, suffering for suffering. Number two, suffering to get away from suffering. Can you explain how different one and two? How different? Number one, suffering for suffering. Number two, suffering for getting away from suffering. How is it different? Can you explain? Like you smoke cigarette.
The second is what we are doing now.
Mm-hmm. When you stop smoking, what happens? You have suffering. That's what kind of suffering? Number one or number two?
Number two.
Number two is what that? Number two. Suffering for getting away from suffering. You see that? So you have suffering in a short time. So you have to be patient and endurance. You have to be strong mind. You have to control yourself. And you tell yourself, I will not go back. Who loves you the most? Tell yourself. Who loves you the most?
You love me the most?
Yes. You yourself. Even you yourself, you still have done something bad to you. That means you don't love yourself. If you say some word, I love you, I don't believe you at all. Because even you yourself, you don't love yourself. And how you can love me? Can you get me? So, you have to prove that you love yourself, and you have to do the best for you yourself. This is my lecture today. I would like you to change from the bad habits, the bad things that you have done wrong to your life. Okay? Can you promise? Can you promise with you yourself? Promise to you, not promise to me. No, you don't say try. If you say try, that means you are weak, very weak mind. You have promise, have with strong mind, with strong will. I will stop now and forever. Why I talk to you like this? I used to smoke 3 packages a day, cigarettes, not only 1 package, 3 packages a day. Why I smoke a lot? My life, when I think smoking can bring about happiness, so I have to smoke a lot because I want happiness. You see that? So I smoke will not stop. Smoke and then, it's burned my finger. Because I never use the lighter at all. Just smoke, when this one end I will continue. So if smoking can bring about happiness, why don't you stop? You have to smoke continuously. You see that? This is my life. When I do things, I will put my heart to do that thing. And I will see what happens. I will not do very little, just smoke. No. When I do it, I do as my work, as my life. Because I love myself. if cigarette can bring about happiness, why you have to smoke very few cigarettes? You have to smoke continuously. Can you see that? Okay. 1974. After I traveled around the world, I came back to Thailand, and then I have made a monkhood. That we say in English, we use the word ordain. Ordain, that you change your life from layman to be a monk. See that? At that year, I said to myself, because in that society that I live in, that monastery, nobody smokes. And then that's the way of life of the people there. So if I live there, I have to do the thing like them do. So when you are in Rome, what you are going to do? You have to act like a Roman. Did you hear about that sentence? When you are in Rome, you have to act like a Roman. Did you hear that? You see that? So when I was in that society, nobody smoked, and they proved that without smoking, that you will have good health. You are free from what? From cigarettes. Cigarettes are what? A garbage. You don't see the cigarettes is useful for you anymore. Useless. It's useless. See that? So, I make my mind, I make my decision. I will quit today for life. From 1974 up to now, I never go back to smoke even one cigarette. What happened? My life changed. You see? So, if you love yourself, you have to do for yourself. When you make decision, you have to do that. You have to control yourself. I stopped both drinking and smoking, because drinking and smoking go together. When you drink, you really want to smoke. You know that, right? Have you been through that experience, or you never? You never smoking?
Yes.
Did you drink? Did you smoke? Okay. Now we have 28 persons here. Not many people. 28. That's very few numbers, but few numbers that the great number if you go away from the thing that's to disturb your life. I would like to see all of you, because you are all my good friends. I would like to see all my good friends stop doing bad things for your life. I love you. How about you? Do you love yourself? Even I love you very much, but you don't love yourself, I cannot help you at all. Matthias, do you understand me? Gentlemen at the back, can you understand my lecture? Okay, please love yourself. I love you all. I would like to see you free from all bad things that disturb your life. If you want to go to the full moon party in Pha Ngan, you can go. But you can go without alcohol. You can go without cigarettes. You can see and you can learn more. Because at the time you are not get drunk. You are sober. You are in the normal mood. You are in the normal mind, normal brain. Then you can learn what happened, what they are doing there. You see that? You can enjoy every activities of humans, but no need to do as they do. See that? So this is the example of the problem, the 4 components. I will show you. If you see cigarettes is problem, but you don't want to solve the problem, even that cigarette you are smoking now, that's not the real problem. You see, the real problem that when you want to solve the problem, and then that problem can be solved by yourself. Is it clear, my explanation about the problem and the way how to solve the problem? That's the solution. All problems like this. Okay. So suffering, you know suffering? Suffering. It has three kinds of suffering. Three kinds of suffering. What is suffering then? Who come from UK? Please explain. What is suffering in English? Pain. Uncertainty. Unsatisfaction. Dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction. Pain. What else? Sorrow. Yes. What else? Yeah.
Wanting something other than you have.
You want to have, but you don't want, but you don't have it. That's kind of suffering also. What else? Fear. You are afraid of something. You are afraid of death. You are afraid of tiger. You are afraid of what? Etc.
Getting out without money.
You are afraid that you will lose your lovers. So many things. Afraid. What else? Fear. What else?
You're not in the present moment. You don't appreciate the beauty around you.
And so many explanations about suffering. All that you explain to me, they are right, not wrong. And then how you can conclude, how you can put together in one word. Yes. You see, if you know, you can put in one word and you understand immediately. Yes. Desire?
Ego.
Huh? Egoism. Okay, ego. What else? That's the right thing. But that answer cannot lead you to practice. So the answer, that's the best answer. That's when you get that answer, and that answer will lead you to practice.
Conscious.
Pardon?
Conscious.
Conscious. What else?
Awareness.
Huh?
Awareness.
Awareness. And how this is suffering? How is awareness suffering? Maybe you
are aware, you don't suffer as much. You don't want you are suffering.
Other. I don't think it's the word, but other.
No.
Separation is different.
Okay.
Not.
Here, come to my explanation, come to my definition. You understand very easy. Suffering, we divided in three kinds of suffering. Three kinds. Number one, common suffering. Common. C-O-M-M-O-N. Common suffering. Common suffering is come from the three characteristics of the law of nature. That's common suffering. What the three characteristics of the law of nature that I mentioned before? Three characteristics that the law of nature. One, impermanent. Remember? One, impermanent. Two, transient. Transient, that's suffering. Transient, that means suffering. Because impermanent, so the suffering cannot stay. It's changing.
What is the word?
Pardon?
Transient.
Transient. Transient. See that? And the last one, selflessness. The three characteristics. In Bali, they use the same word. Okay. Listen the Pali word. One, anicca. Anicca, that means impermanent. Anicca. Two, dukkha. Dukkha, that means suffering. Dukkha, that means it change. Cannot stay in the same as before. Like your shirt, your clothes, it's changing from the new shirt to be old, you see. That's suffering, that becomes suffering also. Suffering of material. That becomes dukkha. Dukkha in Pali. You know Pali? Pali, that's the language they use in India, in Buddha time. Even now they still use that Pali. But the Pali is a dead language, like Latin. Latin is a dead language. But Latin is the basic or the mother of the languages in Europe. See that? All languages in Europe come from Latin. In Europe, except in maybe from Russian language, not come from Latin.
English doesn't come from Latin.
Pardon?
English doesn't come from Latin.
Yeah, come from Latin, English. No, you go and study about it. English, French, Germany, Deutsch, you come from Latin. Latin word. There are many words in that kind of language. They bring Latin to use. I will show you like try. You know try. T-R-I. What does try mean? Tree. From where? From Latin. And Latin they use in Pali also. Try. You see? That's the same word. Pali and Latin. That's the language. But the dead language, that's no more. So people use it. Okay? Pardon?
Impermanent, transient, and
Selflessness. Selflessness, that's not real self. You see self, but not real self. That's I explained yesterday before, right? About suffering, this we call suffering also. That anicca, dukkha, and the last one, anatta. Anatta. This means none or not. There's no self, no real self. This means none. In Pali, But in English you use the word none, N-O-N, none, or un. U-N, un. See that? That's the way that a language works. Okay, this common suffering. So all things change, nothing permanent. So all things suffering. This means you change from new to old, and old just go away. Old, when you get old, this becomes suffering. That's suffering because of changing. Your church from new church, brand new, and then getting old because of changing. When you get old, that becomes suffering. That's material suffering. See, your body changing, your cell change until you get old, your cell old also, and then go away. That's anatta. You see, change, no more. So this we call common suffering. This is the law of nature. All things that's suffering in the law of nature we call common suffering. We know this for what? Why we have to know this? We know this because we want to know all things not permanent. So we will use this knowledge to beware, don't cling, don't attach, don't grasp anything, because all things change. Even my words, when I speak out, finish, I cannot speak anymore. That is my last time to speak to you. Each word, when I speak, finish. I cannot come back to speak again. When you know this, so you do your duty the best at that moment. If you do it and you cannot go back to do it again at the same time, you see that? This common suffering. So, all things in common suffering. Okay, number one, common suffering. Because of the law of nature, all things change, and that's anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anatta. A-N-A-T-T-H-A. Anatta. Anatta, that means not real self. Self that you see by your flesh eye, but your wisdom eye, that's not the self because it's changing, it's changing. That's I explained many times, okay? That's common suffering, okay? The second one. The second one. Nervous suffering. Suffering from nervous system. You see, that we call from your body. That's nervous system. Okay? That's suffering. Nervous system. How? Today, it's very warm, you see. You feel warm or hot. Very hot. That's suffering also. So when you feel hot or you feel warm, you have to solve the problem. When you lack of energy and you have time for eating, you will feel hungry. So hungry, that's nervous system also. You feel hungry. That's from your condition. If you eat 3 times, you are hungry 3 times. If you eat 5 times, you will get hungry 5 times. You see? You can train, you can change your habits. This kind of suffering. As I told you, that from the baby, they eat 6 meals a day. So they have to be hungry 6 times a day. See that? If you don't believe me, you want to do something more trouble. When you go back, at midnight, every midnight, about 3 nights, you wake up and you take your supper at midnight. You take about 3 nights, and the 4th night you cannot sleep anymore. You have to wake up and you have to take your supper again at midnight. See that? That's the habit you can build. So you want to create more suffering or not? Depend on you. So if you want to get away from eating suffering, so you have to reduce your meal. 5 meals a day, 4 meals a day, 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, like me. You see? In the morning, when I take my breakfast, that means every meal is finished and no more. But when you want to change the habits, you have to You have to get over your old habits. That's the suffering. In 1974, I changed my habit from 3 meals a day to 1 meal a day. How? I know. I took a bucket of water to my place that I stay. I have do my meditation. In the morning I have my food, my meal in the morning. And then at midday, that means normally I have lunch. When the lunch time comes, you will feel hungry. See that? So when you feel hungry, that's your what? Your first kind of gas that we call suffering gas come out. We call adrenaline. Adrenaline will release to your stomach. You see, at that adrenaline, if you don't have any food, your stomach will digest itself, and then you get hurt. Maybe your stomach will bleeding. So when you don't have food, but your stomach working, because you have made your condition, at lunch you have to be hungry, you see. So you have to do what? Take a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Water will dilute your adrenaline. And then the water will protect your stomach to eat each other. It's clear? That's the way. I practiced this the first day, my stomach still working. The second day, still working, so I drink a lot of water. And when it's working, you will listen sounds from your stomach working. It's very, very loud, It's loud until I think somebody came along to my place. I just come down and around me. Oh, my stomach. It makes very loud noise. You observe, you see that. So I practice very, very strong discipline. After 1 week, no more. Why? At noon, they know there's no food, so no action. They sleep well. My stomach relaxed, and then my stomach send email to me. Thank you very much. And from now, I can stop. I can relax. I don't want to work for 3 times a day. I work only 1 time a day. So if you stop your lunch and then your stomach will send email to you. They will say thank you that you let them have a chance to rest. And you get my answer? But somebody, they don't have meal. They eat all day. So your stomach, non-stop. They'll say, oh, you put something down again, I have to digest. And you have to put something down again. So if your stomach can complain to you, she will complain a lot. You understand that? This is the way to change your habits if you want to change. So you ask yourself, what do you want to do with your life? So the second one, about nervous system. Nervous system suffering. You cannot stop. You see? You get hungry, you get sick from the what? From the disease. What? You get hot from the sun. You see? Or in the morning, you want to go to the toilet. You see? That's suffering all. That's nervous system. You see? That's nervous system working. So when you have suffering, you have to solve the problem. After you solve the problem, the suffering will go for temporary. See that? After that, your body will have suffering again. And then you have to solve again. I will ask you, when this suffering ends? When this suffering ends? When? When?
When you die.
Oh, when your body passes away, that's the end. If you're still alive, your body still work because our nervous system have to work on that. See that? So you have to use your brain, your wisdom to solve the problem. When your nervous system have problem, like you hungry, when you're hungry, you have to use your wisdom. What you are going to eat. You see that? You have to choose the best choice. And okay. If you don't have anything, you have only bread. So you take bread. But if you have choice, you have your brain to choose. To choose what? 5 groups of food. You know that, right? What's that? Protein, fat, minerals, carbohydrate. See that? Right? You know that? So, this morning, gentleman from Italy. Is he here now? Is he around? No. Oh no. But this morning he came to listen my lecture. And he asked me, do you eat meat? Do you eat what? Pork? Do you eat? So many questions. I said, no, I don't eat meat. I don't eat pork. What are you going to eat? I am eating food. What's different about pork and food? What's different, the answer? Pardon? Because some people think monks have to be vegetarian. Do not eat meat. If you eat meat, that means you support killing. You see that? So some people believe in that way. So this problem happened in Buddha time, about more than 2,000 years. One monk came to Lord Buddha. He requested Lord Buddha that he wants all monks have to take vegetarian. Lord Buddha said, no, I cannot promise to do that. Why? Why? Because monks live by others. Live by others, living by others, by villagers. Because the monk depends on the villagers. You see, the monk cannot take food by himself. The villagers will offering food. That means you living by others. You see that? If you make very hard to serve, and then the villagers will not serve you. So you have to make very simple life. So monks will not eat any pork, any meat, any what? Vegetable? No. The monk eat what? Food only. Food, that means nutrients. You know nutrients? Nutrients in 5 groups that I mentioned. So when we look at food, we don't look, oh, that's chicken, that's fish, that's what? That's garbage, or that's what? That's onion, or pomelo, or no. We don't look at that. If you eat vegetarian, you eat plants, what do you think? Plants have life or not? Plants? No life? Plants have life also. I used to eat morning glory, morning glory. And then some part of morning glory I throw beside of my plate. When I look about after 1 week, they are growing. That means I take some life from morning glory, you see that. So, monk will not take pork or vegetable. Monk will take food. See that. And monk cannot request the villager. Cannot request, oh, I want to have chicken. That's the monk cannot do that. If you do that, that means you have wrong precept. You have done wrong precept. The precept of monk, you cannot request that you want to eat pork, something like that. No. See that? And for the higher level, we will look at food like element. You understand element? Element. E-L-E-M-E-N-T-S. Element. That means many elements. Right? Elements only. So, human made of 6 elements. All of you the same. 6 elements. What are they? First, water. About 70%. If I take all water out of your body will come maybe only this. There's no more water. You see that? That you are very, very big body, that's all water. See that? The water element. And water in you, water in me, water in you, different? No, they are the same. Water, that means H2O. See that? So, we are the same. We are one man. We are one life. You see that? But we separate to do our duty. See that? This is the way that we look more and more to see elements. Water and then what? Fire. You know fire? Fire. In your body you have temperature. And the temperature have to have what? At the right temperature. If you have less, you have problem. If you have more, you have problem. What degree is suitable for human? What degree? This is your life, you should know. What degree? You see? Pardon? You don't know, you see that. When you go to the hospital, they will put the thermometer in your mouth or in your what? Huh? Your armpit? Armpit. See that? And when they take the thermometer out, they say, oh, you got fever. What's that? Last time, before I came to see you, I got a very high fever because of dengue fever. You know dengue fever? Who knows dengue? Dengue, you know, very dangerous. So many people die because of dengue. Because your temperature in your body will get very high. Normal temperature, you remember for life, 37.5. That's normal. Normal temperature. 37.5, 36, 35, okay. See that? If more than 35, you have 37.6. That means you have fever. Last time before I came here, I have 39.4. What happened? Really terrible. See that? So, what the doctor or the physician going to do if you have very high temperature? They have to bring it down. How? Yes, take shower or put some gold gel, gold gel. Gold. C-O-L-D. Gold gel. That they keep in the refrigerator and then they bring out and to put on your forehead, to your chest. You see that? To what? To bring your temperature down. You see that? Have you seen that experience? You see, that's number 2. Number 1 is water. Number 2 is fire. See that? Water, you have problem also. When you have what? When you have digestion. You have diarrhea. You know diarrhea? That means you peep all night. You see, the water come out. And then you lack of water. When you come to the hospital, they have to put the water in you. Water and minerals. You see that? This is the example. So the other, I will count. If I talk about this, maybe all day will not finish. You know that. You have seen that. So you have to know yourself about elements that's in you. Okay, if temperature come down to 20, what happened? That means you are going to die now. You see, that's very cold. So they have to put some warm water to put on your chest. You see that? To fill up your temperature. You know that? You understand that? That's your life. You see that? So, water, fire, air. See? So, water, fire, air, and then earth. Earth. E-A-R-T-H, earth. That means like bone, like flesh, you see? That's we call earth. And then, what else? Hello? Huh? Space. Okay, space. Empty place. You see, 5. And then the 6th one, conscious. The people ask me, where is conscious come from? Come from 5 or 4 elements work together. And then the conscious will come. Conscious. C-O-N.
Like consciousness?
Consciousness, yeah. Yeah, same thing, conscious. Or your mind, conscious. Okay. And then the 6th. So we are the same. But when we take the name out, we are the same people. You see? We are one person. Why we have to fight? Why we have to aggressive? Why we have to feeling bad to each other? We are one person. The same thing in nature. So you see that? Do you understand me? You and me the same. One person. So, that's the suffering from nervous system. There's so many explanations. Maybe I have to explain about 2 days about this. But now I think I will end it. But I would like to tell you that suffering of nervous system you cannot stop. You have to solve with your right wisdom to solve the problem. When you have suffering from nervous system, like you get hungry, what food that you are going to eat, how much, you see that. You understand that? When you got sick, how you can solve the problem? When you got the disease, how you can do with that? There are many ways to solve the problem. If you cannot solve, you will have to pass away from the world. You see that? This is clear. This is your life. So that's number one of suffering. Number two, you have to know it. All nature changing, so that's suffering. Number two, that's nervous system. You have to solve the problem day by day. Okay? You can count how many suffering today. How many times that you have to go to the toilet. How many times that you take food. You see, you can count. You see that? But the first one you cannot count because frequency is very high. Changing very high frequency. But number two, suffering, you can count. And you can solve with your right wisdom. Number three, this is the most important thing. Number three is suffering. Number three is suffering. Suffering from attachment. Attachment. You know attachment? A-T-T-A-C-H-M-E-N-T. Attachment. Okay? Attachment from where? From egoism. Because we don't know the truth from the first suffering. First suffering, that means law of nature. In law of nature, all things change, no self, but we attach, not real self, as a self. So that egoism come to you. That's because suffering from attachment. See that? How to solve this problem? When you have problem with attachment, how to solve? You have ego, how to solve your ego? Where is ego come from? Come from ignorance. Ignorance, that means you don't know the truth. And you attach, you cling, you grasp. And how many years? For a long time. That your mind, very stupid when we were born. Then you attach, you cling, you never know that you are living with ignorance. See that? Have you seen that? So the way how to solve this problem, you have to develop your mind. And then when your mind calm, you use your mind to see the truth of life and nature, that I said. So you are here because you want to train your mind. To calm your mind. When your mind calm, that we call samatha. We call samatha. Samatha, this means calm down. Samatha, vipassana. Vipassana, that means you see things all the time. When your mind calm down, vipassana. Or after you calm down your mind, and then you use your calm mind, your peaceful mind, to see the truth of life and nature. That I explained to you about three characteristics in nature, not real self. Don't believe your nervous system. You don't believe your flesh eye. You have to believe your wisdom eye. You can use your flesh eye to do your duty in society. You see that? But you use your wisdom eye to protect egoism, to protect your mind, to get suffering from attachment. Did you get that? So you are doing the best thing for human life here. So your final goal of mindfulness with breathing, not for your meditation, is for freedom from attachment. Did you get that? Okay? So, that's the explanation of 3 kinds of suffering. And again, I will come back to the points of suffering that you can solve. This explanation will lead you to practice. Suffering comes from your sensitive mind or sensitive feeling. That means your mind shaking, not stable. When your mind shaking with your feeling, positive or negative, you have problem. That's the suffering. Suffering in your mind. So here you can divide that suffering into body suffering and mind suffering. And mind suffering because of your mind not peaceful mind. Your mind not calm. When your 6 senses doer, you know 6 senses doer? 6 senses doer. 6 senses doer. What are they? Six senses doer, what are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. You see, 6 senses doer. Get in touch, that we call contact. Contact with environment. That's with 6 senses object. Like eyes with what? With eye with sight. Sight or picture that I see you see that eye. So eye cannot listen the sound. Eye can see the picture. Eye with sight and ear with sound. Nose with smell. Tongue with taste. Body with touch, and mind with mind object. See that? That's contact. Now, I see you, that's my eye contact with you. If the dark curtain or the darkness came here, I cannot see you. I can see you because of the light. The light is the media that bring my eye to see you. Yeah. My ears can listen to you because of the air can bring the sound to my ear. You see that? So 3 things we have. We say contact. You remember this word, very important. Contact. Composed of 3 components. Number 1, eyes, light, and picture or sight. 3 things. When eyes can reach the sight or can reach the picture, that we call contact. Eye can reach the picture or the sight because of the light that can bring the eye to see the picture. See that? I can see you because of the light. Can you get my explanation? See that? So 3 things, 3 components can bring about contact. Contact. And contact, it has 2 kinds of contact. 2 kinds of contact. 1, ignorance contact. Ignorance contact. 2, right wisdom contact. Normal. All humans who never train their mind, who never develop their mind, they will have with ignorance contact. Ignorance contact will create egoism. Because you don't know the truth. When you contact, who see? I see you. I. That's ego. You see that? I will explain to you more clearly, step by step. After contact, what happens? Contact, you have feeling, you see? When I see you, oh, I like you, I dislike you, the feeling comes. This not in the book, not in the picture, but in real life. Now, see that? So 6 senses doer and 6 senses object have contact like this. If no contact, no problem. But if contact with wisdom, right wisdom, no problem. If contact with ignorance, problem. So, when you have problem, you can tell yourself that I am stupid. That means that problem comes from where? Ignorance contact. Ignorance, that means you don't know the truth. That means you are stupid. You don't know the truth that you should know. You see that? So when you have problem, tell yourself, I am stupid again. Okay? The time of Dhamma teaching today is end already. I try my best to explain to you. I can do my Dhamma teaching to you for 1 year, never end. But I choose the best thing that you have to use for today. You know, after my teaching, you know yourself more, you know your life more, you know yourself. And now, you can say that you love yourself. Can you? Okay. And then, I will get good news from all of you. That you will come to me, oh, I quit smoking. Oh, I quit drinking. Oh, I do so many things. Good. And the bad thing that I have done before, I will not do anymore. Thank you very much. I think this lecture really fruitful. I try to keep my lecture, and I will put my lecture post to YouTube, and then you will have a chance to listen it again. Don't you want to listen again? And then you will have a chance. Thank you very much. Okay, Anjali.